Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yes! The Parlay King has returned. The champion. The man with the bubonic dick. What a monster weekend this weekend, Dan. I mean, I've had a lot of great weekends in my life, obviously.
Right.
As far as gambling goes, this one has to be the top. I was 12 out of 13 games. The only game that I missed was Wisconsin minus 6.5, and I hit 2 5-game parlays. So I'm going to read these off to the audience here because one of them, unfortunately, sucked for a lot of people.
Right.
And I apologize for that, but there's nothing I can do about it. First of all, we'll start with the NFL one because there was one push on this 5-game parlay, and it was the Seattle Seahawks, of course. It always comes down to the Seahawks on a Sunday night game for some reason, and I don't understand what their fucking problem is.
I think it's part of the simulation hypothesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
The most inconsistent teams in both the NFL and NCAA are all on the West Coast. The Pac-12.
Yeah, the Trap 12, yeah.
And what I mean by that, I mean good teams that should perform well that don't on a very regular basis, don't cover spreads or don't win the games they're supposed to. I'm talking about all the Pac-12 basically, and then definitely Seattle.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks never cover. So it was Browns +3, which, again, for these teasers, I started doing this year because you guys asked for it. I always say the same thing. It's for fucking poor people and like Dan. And look, these are fucking hard to hit, man. I've hit 5 in the last 7 weeks, which is unbelievable. Of 6 games, 6 teams plus. So I'm going to go ahead and read the NFL ones. It was Browns +3. That was a miracle. Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown with no time left to some no-name receiver, and they won the game covered, right? I'm all in on the Browns. They won. Bills -4.5. Now, this was a 6-point teaser. The original spread of this was 10.5 Bills. They did not cover the original spread against the Jets, which is fine. I didn't know if they would or not because the Jets are going to play eventually. And it turned out they played against Buffalo. Still covered. It was an ugly game. I believe it was 18-10. But that went through. Kansas City Chiefs. Now, that was my lock of the week. I told everybody to bet the house on that. I put $2,000 on that game straight up at 6.5. They won by maybe 50 or 60 points. When they decide to play, they win by 50 or 60. They decided to play on Sunday. Won $2,000 on that. And then I put that in the 6-point teaser. It was Chiefs -1. Green Bay Packers at +2. They were doing fine and dandy. And then it came down to Seattle for the night game. They ended up losing in overtime off of a pick.
Yeah.
And some other weird shit like Seattle does. Seattle always does Seattle things. But luckily, this was a push. And what happens is on these parlays and teasers and things, it just removes that team, but you still win, which is great. The problem with it was I make these picks somewhere around the 3 a.m. region on Friday and Saturday night and then post them when I wake up. I coach my child's soccer team on Saturday mornings, so I'll try to post it before I go there. By the way, we're undefeated. Blue Dragons are undefeated. That spread should be in my bookie next week. I'm going to put it at 4.5. We won again 12-3. But with this, by the time that I posted this, apparently, all the Drinkin Bros got it at 2.5 for Seattle. And that half point ended up boning them at the nth hour on Sunday night. And Seattle did what Seattle always does. Now, the other big bet of the weekend was Ohio State, and I told everybody this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. There is no excuse if you did not put the house on Ohio State, like I told you to 6 weeks ago as soon as this game was announced. I even gave you a hypothetical point spread back then. I said, look, if this game is under 28, if it is 27.5, those are my exact words on the podcast, put the entire house on it. I max bet. So mybookie.com is our sponsor. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. The max bet there was $2,000. Therefore, I put $2,000 on Ohio State. They won by 35 points in that game. That was a monstrous victory.
That was an easy call.
So then I obviously put them in this teaser. So I took that spread down to 20.5, won that one. Took Wisconsin at 13.5, won that one. Took Syracuse. Now, this was the interesting one because I took a lot of shit for this. I took Syracuse at +52, which is a ton of points. But Clemson won the week before by 70. And so everybody was like, oh, I don't know about that one. And I was like, man, you can't keep winning. Your team gets bored week after week if you're winning by 70.
Yeah.
They're going to get complacent. I don't think it's any reason to panic about Clemson that they only won by 20 points or whatever it is. You just get bored playing these shitty teams week after week. So I'm not even really going to put that on Clemson. Alabama at minus 15.5. They absolutely rolled Tennessee. Although RIP to Waddle. He's out for the year, their star wide receiver. That's going to affect them in the long run. Yep. And then Cincinnati, man, was it plus 8.5? And they ended up winning by like 21 points. So I won back-to-back teasers in a row. The only game I lost was your alma mater, Dan.
Yeah. I actually didn't bet that one, although I did. That's not the outcome I expected for sure. But, man.
They were up the entire game by a touchdown, and then Indiana came back and tied it with like 3 seconds left. And then they went for 2 in overtime and ended up getting it. That was crazy. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I like how that guy was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're not doing any more overtime. We're going to settle this right here.
And you should. Yeah. If you're Indiana, who is a basketball school, you will never, ever be a football school as much as you try and as long and storied as that college is. You will never, ever be a football school. You should go for 2 and get a big victory and make everybody feel great about themselves.
I don't know. They're, it's hard to say whether their defense was good or if Penn State's follow through was bad. I mean, they still I think they had 500 yards total offense, right? Penn State did. So that's not that great, but they did stop them from scoring a lot.
Right. I'm not ready to panic on Penn State yet because
there's no panic. It's just that Penn State's season is over because next week they're going to play Ohio State and lose,
right?
And that's it. You're not going to be in the top. They might stay in the top 10, maybe 15.
Right.
But there's no shot for them to be in the national
national championship. Not at all. But I'm not going to panic on them having an off season or saying they're done or trash or whatever yet. It was the first game of the year and you're starting in conference.
Yeah.
That's always fucking difficult. Usually you get some shitbag cupcake school that you're playing and, you have time to try things and figure out positions and play calling and all that other shit. And I'll flip this over to the Ohio State game because they're up for the national title. I think all of us are in agreement that Alabama and Clemson are going to be in this thing. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out the last 2. Now,
Ohio State is definitely one of them.
I think so. But there is room to improve in that game. They looked a little sloppy. It was the first game. And it's tough, man. You're playing Nebraska, who is, in my opinion, much improved. And I think that McCaffrey kid is probably their future, and they should probably move on from the Adrian Martinez era and start that kid. Because when he got in the game, he was electric. Whenever you're swapping out quarterbacks, though, every other play, you can't get into an offensive rhythm. And that's the way it felt for Nebraska. It also felt that way for Ohio State's defense, where you've got 2 running quarterbacks who run for different styles. And you're like, it's hard to figure out on your first game. I'm glad they played Nebraska their first game. There was some Nebraska fans that bitched at me about the targeting calls. And they were like, man, if it weren't for those targeting calls, Ohio State never would have covered. Look,
I mean, if it wasn't for a targeting call, Ohio State may have beat Clemson in the last CFP game.
And if you listen to the show long term, like that I hate targeting calls. I think we should banish those unless there is clear intent that you tried to fucking take the other kid's head off. Those 2 calls against Nebraska, I don't think that there was any malicious intent in those. I'm fine with letting those go, but it's the pushification of society. It's the fucking world we live in, man. If that was, the 90s or early 2000s, all that shit goes, man. So I'm with you, Nebraska fans, on that one. I don't want to see targeting plays called. Now those guys are fucked next week because 2 of them have to sit out the first half. And Nebraska's playing somebody difficult next week. I forget who it is, but they're fucked.
They're playing Wisconsin.
They're playing Wisconsin. Oh, well, yeah, which we'll get to after this. But but real quick, Nebraska fans, I think your team is improving. I think you will eventually get there. And to anybody who said they were running up the score, and I know Ryan Day called and apologized to Scott Frost and everything. Scott Frost used to run the score up all the time at UCF. He also didn't have a choice. But so does Ohio State. We only have 8 games. And yes, because I went there, obviously, but some including myself as part of that team and every team going forward for the future. We only play 8 games. You've got to run up the score and get to the top of the standings. It's exactly what happened when the standings came out today, the rankings. And I think Ohio State's got some work to do. Justin Fields has 0 work to do. Look, I said he was going to win the Heisman before the year started. He was 20 of 21. The only drop pass was not even an overthrow or anything. The kid fucking fell too hard to the ground.
Yeah.
It was an easy catch. It was an easy touchdown, to be honest with you, but he fell on his back and he dropped it on his own. Otherwise, he would have been perfect. The other kid who was 20 for 21 in the Big Ten was Graham Mertz from Wisconsin.
I'm going to go ahead and read you off some of the scores from Scott Frost's first year at Nebraska as a player. Ready?
As a player, sure.
64 to 21.
There you go.
50 to 10, 77 to 28, 49 to 7, 57 to 0, 73 to 14, 62 to 24. That was the bowl game they played in. So how about you get fucked, Scott?
Yeah. Was that the
Jesus fucking Christ.
Was
man.
he playing in the 90s with Osborne?
Tom Osborne, yeah.
Yeah, those Tom Osborne teams used to run the fucking score up. You also had to back then, too, because there was no playoffs. So it was either you finish in the top 2, you weren't going to play for the national championship. Right. Unfortunately, that was the last time Nebraska has actually put a team that's been relevant on the field. We'll see what happens with Scott Frost, but, you know, it's tough, man. You're up against Ohio State's in another fucking class in that league. And even Michigan looked decent, surprisingly. I was shocked by that. So
Michigan State certainly didn't.
No, they did not. No, they did not. That's going to be a long climb back uphill for Michigan State fans. But Wisconsin looked great. That Graham Mertz kid looked like the fucking truth. Same numbers as Fields, 20 for 21, ironically.
Unfortunately, they don't have any quarterbacks anymore.
No. So what happened was Graham Mertz parties. And I understand it. Look, man, you're a second-string quarterback. You weren't supposed to play. You come out, not only do you play lights out and look like the future of that program that could potentially lead them to the college playoffs and maybe a sleeper team for the national championship, but then right after the game is over, you party like you're fucking Johnny Manziel and get COVID immediately after the game.
Fake Dan, what do you got to say? I see you over there.
Chirping.
So their third-string quarterback is also down with COVID.
Yeah, he just
third-string quarterback
tested
also has
positive
COVID.
late last night. Yeah.
So now they're down to their fourth-string quarterback, Danny Vanden Boom.
I like the name though, Danny Vanden Boom.
How is that moved?
Hang
on, I got to
name.
look at the spreads now because
They're not out. They don't know.
I saw 5.5.
Oh, Wisconsin's. I mean, there's a spread on ESPN, but there's
Is there one on my bookie?
No.
I didn't think so, man. Because look, if you're down to a fourth string, I don't even know how you equate that to some form of point spread.
It's
man.
3.5 against Nebraska for Wisconsin. I mean, honestly, if they had their starting quarterback, it would probably be 13.5
easily,
right?
Yeah,
give
easily.
or take.
Yep.
So,
especially after last week's performance.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. I don't know what you're gonna do, man. And
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna trust that Wisconsin's defense is going to brutalize Nebraska all fucking game long. Like, they know that they can't get away with allowing shit in this game.
Right.
So I would be surprised if Nebraska scores 10 points in this game. Honestly, I think they're going to lit the fuck up.
The problem with it is when you get COVID in the Big Ten this year, you're out for 21 days, which is 3 full games.
Yeah, but we're talking about this game.
I understand. Not only are they out for this game here, but they're going to be out for the next 2 after that. How does Wisconsin... So you think Wisconsin's going to win?
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna win probably by 10 to 14 points, something like that. Like, I think they're gonna score. I think they'll have a defensive touchdown. This defense is very good.
Where is it at?
It's in Nebraska. But
I will take the other side of that. I thought Nebraska looked all right. I don't know what you do with a fourth string quarterback. I've never even heard of that.
I don't either. What they're gonna do is run the ball a lot, which Wisconsin's pretty good at already.
Well, you should know then to stack the box.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it's Nebraska stacking the box. When's the last time Nebraska had a good defense?
1992.
Yeah. If it doesn't
somewhere
belong,
in the 90s, yeah.
If it doesn't belong with a 2 and a 0, or start with a 2 and a 0, then you can go ahead and skip that. They play Nebraska, then Purdue, so they got 2 weeks.
But then Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's going to be
problem.
tough.
Oh, so
Michigan,
they're out.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if they can lose in the Big Ten, you could probably lose one game and still make it.
Oh, well, yeah, they're on the other side. So, yes, they could, because on the other side is also Minnesota in their division. So,
yeah.
Minnesota got worked by Michigan this weekend.
Northwestern, Purdue, and Indiana. Who's the other one?
Yeah.
Iowa. Iowa's not good this year. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get past Michigan, they might go undefeated, actually. But if they get past even if they lose that game, I think they still have a shot, depending on what Michigan does. I this week against Nebraska, what are they going to do exactly? Like, I understand how good the Ohio State offense is. I get it, but man, they got fucking worked. And at no point when they were in control of any part of that game, there were very few drives that Ohio State didn't do exactly what they wanted to. The mistakes that happened or the stops that happened were because of Ohio State fucking up. It wasn't because Wisconsin stopped them, or not Wisconsin, but because Nebraska stopped them. So I don't see it, man. I don't think Nebraska should even be in this game, to be honest.
I'm telling you, man, that dueling running back / quarterback system where they just run the fucking ball, the quarterbacks, it's tough, man. Especially when you don't see it very much throughout the year. Like, I mean, besides Army and Navy, like, shit, I don't know any quarterbacks that just run the fucking ball that much. It's difficult to go up against because I thought Ohio State's defense looked sloppy, but that's a hard first game to come out to against 2 running quarterbacks. So we'll see as time goes on, but big win for the Buckeyes, big win for everybody in Drinkin Bros. I know a lot of people bet that, and a lot of people took a lot of these bets that we had here because we post them in there every Saturday and Sunday morning. And then also we did the live UFC show on Friday from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubled your deposit, and we'll talk about that because Giorgio, I want to give you a huge shout out today. You and I were the only ones on the panel last week that picked Khabib.
We were the only ones using our brains instead of our hearts.
It wasn't a hard thing. I just thought every time we've seen an athlete at the pinnacle of their success, the best that anybody believes exists at that time, then their dad dies. Every single time it's happened, I looked into this. Every single time it's happened, it's not gone well for them in their next performance, right? Obviously, Khabib is a different kind of human being. He's probably
and Brett Favre.
I mean, Favre actually did well, yeah.
That was the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, but he was not at the peak of his. He wasn't peak Brett Favre when that happened. He was like 40 years old.
Habib also had a broken foot.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What
man.
this did is it solidified that Khabib is the greatest and the most focused athlete of all time.
Yeah, I
I think that's what's so important is nothing can break this man's focus.
No.
Which solidifies him as the GOAT because John Jones can't keep his nose clean.
Right. And I took issue with John Jones saying that Khabib wasn't the greatest of all time, and he said he was. Like, here's the deal, bro. You want to be the greatest of all time, don't do fucking coke and steroids before every fight. Like, no, you don't count. He does not count to me. Same with A-Rod. I'm not going to put fucking Alex Rodriguez anywhere near the top of my favorite baseball players or the best of all time.
Most talented, probably. Most raw skill. Most entertaining to watch. Yes,
I don't think
John Jones. I'll give you a lot of these things, especially in the early career.
I'm not entertained by John Jones. I think he's boring as shit too.
That flying knee against Shogun when he was 19 years old. Ooh.
He's 33 now. That was fucking 14 years ago. So I'm not. Look, I'm not a John Jones fan, but I want to point out something interesting though that I never read the comments on shit, and I haven't for years and years and years from like doing movies and all that other shit. Like it's too much. And if that gets in your head, you don't do it. I was putting up like hashtags for one of these videos, and I read the comments because I was in there on this UFC thing. There was a bunch of them that were like, man, fuck Ross. He just hates Khabib because he's Muslim. I didn't even know he was Muslim. I just hate him because he was boring. What's the Muslim thing? He's Russian and Muslim?
Dagestan is a Muslim country. Yeah, there's a lot like Chechnya. There's a bunch of those countries. So I mean, Russia annexed a bunch of territory in that area, northern. I guess you could say the northern Middle East. I'm not exactly how you refer to that area, but
because they were Muslim?
No, they annexed it because they were trying to expand during the Cold War, right? Like the war in Afghanistan from the Russians. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to push further down, and what they really wanted to do was create a quote unquote safe or secure zone from them down to Europe, so they could deliver their oil to Europe and cut off the Middle East from delivering oil to Europe. It was a competition. But anyways, there's a lot of those old Soviet countries on the edge there, for lack of a better phrase, that are Muslim.
I didn't know that. Look, my personal hatred for Khabib is the same for Floyd Mayweather and John Jones. It's just that they're boring. Who's the other guy, the foot stomper, Giorgio?
By the way,
Kamaru Usman.
Oh yeah, Usman. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate watching him too.
He can't even run anymore. His body has been depleted. Like his knees are absolutely shot. So I mean, he's fighting with whatever he has.
I mean, he did fight Colby pretty fantastically though.
Oh, he's still amazing. His skills are through the roof.
Colby's
jaw. It's just not fun to watch, and I won't pay for it.
By the way, just to circle back on that Favre thing, since so many of you dumb dicks in the comments are talking shit about me being wrong about it. Including the year his dad died, and the 3 years after that, he was 32 and 32. 100 TDs, 85 picks. It was the worst 4 years of his goddamn career, so why don't you suck on my dick?
But he was 90 years old, I think.
No, he was 34.
The game that he threw the 4 touchdowns was the game that's his dad died, and that was the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, he's had plenty of great games.
He's
Brett fucking Favre.
he's
Come on.
great. He's
Just
great.
saying, but he wasn't. The point I was making, he wasn't the best quarterback in the NFL at that time. Not even close.
No, he was. Look, he's always been great, but
Yeah.
he wasn't the best. Look, and the same with Khabib. I have no problem saying that Khabib is the greatest. I really don't. He's just boring to me, and it's not my personal favorite.
Well, there's only been 2 fighters in history, 3 fighters in history that have gone undefeated. Mayweather's one of them.
Mayweather's one of them, and he's boring as shit to me.
Yeah.
Khabib is, and maybe that's the thing.
Fighting is boring.
Yes.
At the highest level,
Yes.
fighting is boring.
And that was my biggest takeaway is like, fuck, man, maybe that is the only way to finish a career undefeated is to be the best defensively you can be. Because the exciting guys go for knockouts and big swings, and they're going to get knocked out in the meantime. So,
Offense wins games, defense wins titles. It applies to every sport.
Yes,
It
yes,
does,
yes.
but I mean, there's a really interesting article on ESPN actually about Khabib, and you know he and Cormier are training partners, right? They fight out of the same gym in San Jose or wherever the fuck it is, or Santa Clara. I don't know where the fuck it is.
I read that article this morning. Yeah.
So the article is like he talked to him. He talked to Khabib after the fight, after the press conference actually, and Khabib said, "You know what? I had him. I was gonna put him in an arm bar, but then at the moment, I remembered Gaethje saying that he would never tap, and I truly believed that he would never tap just because of the kind of person he is. So I decided to skip the arm bar and just put him in a triangle choke and knock him out, or like choke him out instead.
Yeah.
So in that moment, where he was in the middle of a fucking fight, and remember he had been dinged up a couple times, like, and his foot was broken. All this stuff is going on. And he makes a conscious decision to stop what he's doing, rearrange, take the risk of trying a different move just to save the other guys like from getting injured in front of his family.
Right.
That is, I don't know what you say about a person like that. You can say whatever you want about him being a dick and all the shit he talked back and forth with Conor and the fact that he's boring and all this stuff, but the fact that he can't lose and the fact that even in winning he shows grace and empathy like that, I think I don't think you can even have a conversation at this point about who the best is.
No, I don't either. And after I read that article, I felt the exact same way, where if you're that great that you can change your entire game plan in a sport where you can get absolutely knocked the fuck
Like
unconscious
in a split second,
in a
too.
split second is pretty impressive. I'm fine with calling him the greatest. I am glad he retired and is out of the sport, and I'd like to see some exciting shit back here.
And
now,
some of the other
you had
stuff
some harsh words for Gaethje.
I do, but I'll get to that in a second. Some of the other stuff we've seen from Khabib as well. Somebody actually just mentioned it. Who was it? Obi-Wan to Kobe. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's a funny name. He's talking about how Khabib will like just kind of casually talk shit to people as he's like pounding on them while they're on the ground. And then there was the thing in when he fought. Obviously, we were there, so we didn't hear any of this. But when he fought Conor McGregor, apparently there was a part right after he had popped him one good time, and he just like looked at Conor straight in the eyes. He goes, "Hey, it's just business. It's just business." And then he fucked him up like seconds later. Like the confidence of this guy, coupled with the skill and the tenacity and the focus, I've never seen anything like it. And any kind of, I mean, Jordan is the only athlete that I could compare him to be honest. It's a shame he's leaving.
Well, Dan, that it's just business was Conor's excuse because Khabib felt that he went completely overboard with talking about him, his religion, his family, in the build-up to their fight, saying it's just business to build the fight, to build it because he has to be the spectacle. And then it's just business that he breaks his face.
Yeah.
And that's actually how he learned English when he got over to America, was people would shit talk him in practice. So that's how he learned how to pick up the language.
Well, either way, man, I think we're fine calling him the greatest of all time. There's not really a debate.
Do we talk about the weight class post Khabib?
The weight
Poirier,
class,
Conor.
It's a joke to me.
Yeah. And Dan, I know you wanted to discuss this today, especially Gaethje.
Yeah. So here's
So Gaethje thinks he's number one from his comments recently. He says Conor and Poirier can fight, or Conor can come fight him for the belt.
It's going to be the winner of Conor and Dustin is going to fight Gaethje for the title.
Yeah, probably. I don't think that, I said this yesterday, but I don't think Gaethje's a champion. I don't think he's got the whatever it is that makes someone a champion. I don't think he has it. and you could tell from the way he responds to loss. Like, you should be enraged. If you're a real champion, if Khabib had lost that fight, he would have been ashamed and enraged. He would have been so angry. You see Jordan crying after he wins, and Kobe and LeBron and all these guys like openly weeping after they wins because they suspended all those negative emotions they were feeling right there and directed them in towards performing. And Gaethje doesn't have that. Whatever that is, I don't know psychologically or whatever you would call it, but he just doesn't have it. To the point of what the weight class looks like afterwards, it looks like garbage. It looks like, how do I explain this? So Kevin Garnett went to my high school, right? Mm-hmm. He was older than me. He graduated before I got into high school, but I was in middle school then, and kids would go, like, he would be on the playground all the time playing down the street, and he would go out there and play and just dominate everybody, and then he would fuck off, he would leave, and then everybody else would compete to see who's the second best. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're going to see in this weight class from now on. Who's the second best? Period.
I agree.
When he was asked post-fight, like, this guy. Now I already choked all those guys out.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
I don't want to fight any of those guys anymore.
And I understand it. And whoever ends up winning, to your point, like, you're right. You will look at them as a fake champion. Mm. It's just somebody who's filling that slot now that the greatest is retired. So it is what it is. I don't know, Giorgio, for you, is there anything else on tap the rest of the year?
I mean, especially in that division, like if Michael Chandler's coming to the UFC, seeing him fight Tony Ferguson would be great. And then you have another Dagestani in Islam who Khabib says is heir apparent to the weight class.
Mm. I mean,
so,
155 is loaded.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably the toughest division.
Yeah, it is loaded.
It doesn't have the star names and the narratives like Dan is kind of saying.
No, I don't care about that. It's not about the names or the narratives. I think that Gaethje is a great fighter. Poirier is. Conor McGregor obviously is. Chandler obviously is. Mm-hmm. Ferguson obviously is. These guys are all great fighters.
Dan Hooker's up there.
Yeah, Dan Hooker's in there. They're all household names. They're very, very good fighters. But none of them are in the same class as Khabib. Not even close. And he's demonstrated that time and time again. None of these people have even come close to beating him.
Right.
Not even close. Like, he's toyed with these people.
He's lost, one round in his entire career?
Maybe one round, but it was early in his career. Like, ever since then, he's just pounded on people, and he does it in such a way where he doesn't fucking have to talk all the shit. He waits until he's right. Like, seriously, if you watch these fights, if you watch these clips of him talking shit to people, he waits until a few minutes before he really goes after somebody, or a few seconds even, and then starts talking shit, and then they're done.
Yeah.
As soon as he decides to flip the switch, it's over. And there's not a lot of people that have ever been able to do that in any sport whatsoever.
Yep.
Right? And, again, none of these other guys. Ferguson's one of the toughest human beings I've ever seen in my life. Justin Gaethje is a very, very skilled fighter. I don't think he's got the brain of a champion or anything, but he's very good. Chandler might be a guy that could take over this weight class. We'll see how that goes. Poirier, I don't think has it. I think Poirier is kind of in the Cowboy Cerrone phase of his career at this point. And Conor is Conor, man. If you'll let him hit you with his left hand, you'll lose.
Look, I'll always pay for Conor. I will always pay for Street Jesus. I will always pay for Nate Diaz. The rest of them, I'm not that excited about anymore. But we'll see. I don't know what the future holds. The rumor is that Conor is going to fight in January, I think.
He said he wanted one in 2020. We'll see.
I don't think there's time.
I know. Well, UFC always puts one right around New Year's for some reason. We'll see. But, right now the rumor is that it's January 2021. So we'll find out. Either way, I won that fight as well. So it's a fantastic weekend for Ross Patterson. And Rostradamus has struck once again into the hearts and minds of thousands and millions across the globe. Fake Dan, we'll get to you at the end of the show because you had a Dirty Dan pick that came through again. And it's disgusting. I would never bet on these things, but you are who you are, and we're proud of you for that. We got some sponsors who pay for this whole shit wagon to be on the air. First and foremost, our chief sponsor, KillcliffCBD.com, the best in the biz. That's it. That is my drink. That was my Ohio State drink this weekend. It is KillcliffCBD.com and vodka, dude. I love it. I will put any or all of the flavors in there at this point. Mm-hmm. I bought a case of each one, including the strawberry. So it was the first time I had it. Big fan of the strawberry.
Strawberry's good, yeah.
All of them. I still, if gun to head, I'm gonna take grape until I die. But I'm also that dude who always likes grape shit. So say what you want. But 25 milligrams of CBD in every single can. No THC. You will not piss hot. Go to killcliffcbd.com today. Promo code Drinkin Bros will get you 20% off and free shipping. They're truly the best, man. We drink that fucking shit every day. I love it.
Very delicious.
Next up, we got mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposits. All the spreads we read on the show today are the actual ones from mybookie.com. I'll usually read them from ESPN, and then MyBookie is the one we bet off of. So you'll see whether the numbers are going up and down and who people are betting on. Go to mybookie.com today. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit, and if you sign up for Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, it's a free group, obviously. You'll see my live bets every single Saturday and Sunday for all of college and NFL. And let's face it, if you've taken those this year, you're rich. You're fucking rich. I've only had one bad weekend this year, and it was a miserable weekend. But even then, I think it was like 50-50. But the rest of them, I've won 5 fucking 6-game teasers and parlays this year. Like I didn't even bet that shit. You guys asked me to do it. Man, it's the heart of a champion, dude. Balls of a lion. Calves like fucking cheetahs, dude. It's unbelievable. Go to mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros.
I don't think cheetahs even have calves.
They do. You just can't see them because they're so sleek. They're so sleek.
I know.
Last but not least, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Finest mattress in the land. If you're as hungover as I was Sunday after winning Ohio State in a 5-game parlay, oof, I did not leave the ghost bed. All I did was press the remote on the adjustable base and go all the way up and watch about 90 NFL games as I continue to house the world in that. I keep getting these text messages, dude. Senator Tom Tillis voted to confirm Justice Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court yesterday. Now the Democrats are plotting to black the court. Go and vote. I've already fucking voted. Bro.
I got that same one.
I've already voted. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm laying down in my ghost bed this weekend until the election comes, and then I'm going to rage. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. If you're a member of the military, a first responder, a teacher, or work in the government, you get 30% off. If you're a regular dum-dum like myself, you get 30% off of all bundle packages. The bundle packages is where it's at, man. And as always, they get a 36-month pay-as-you-go program and no interest there. So feel free to get wet at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today.
Speaking of fighters, by the way, did you see Masvidal going off for Trump?
I loved every second of that speech.
Did you see what he was referencing, though? The fact that Miami is red?
Yeah.
Miami, a major city in the United States, even with early voting, mail-in voting, is really, really red.
Correct, because they understand what it's like to be from a socialist country, and they do not fucking want that bullshit here. I had the same thing, man.
That's what he said. Jorge said, let me get the exact quote. My people don't want that socialist BS trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Hashtag super necessary.
It is. And, dude, I had a fucking Polish, what do you call those rubber stampers? What are they called?
Polish? Like sausage?
Come on. What's the goddamn things, dude? They rubber stamp your bullshit with the fucking thing. No one knows the name of this.
What are you talking about?
God damn it. They
like on your passport?
No, they've got notary. Thank Christ.
I'm sorry, Ross.
Jesus Christ.
We were all simultaneously brain farting.
I had a notary at my house from Poland, and she was like, I live behind Iron Curtain. I was wearing this Black Rifle Coffee sweatshirt. Promo code Drinkin Bros 10 at blackriflecoffee.com.
Wait, is it 10?
Yeah.
We got a new code?
I think so.
I thought it was Drinkin Bros 20.
I think it was the old code.
I don't know.
I think they're done at 10 because they're fucking big time now. Whatever. But she said the same thing. She was like, are you conservative? And I was like, yeah, why? And I thought, here we go. I was like, I fucking voted for Trump and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, the rifle. And I was like, yeah. She goes, good. I don't want the fucking socialist shit here in our country either. And I was surprised. I was like, shit, real immigrants actually don't want Democrats, which is hilarious because the way they spin it in the media is the other way.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust people who come from shithole countries that become politicians like Rashida Tlaib and Illinois Omar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you should know better.
Yeah, you should know better. You came from a hellhole.
I'm not saying that there are definitely some issues surrounding race in this country, and mostly I think, obviously, you've heard me say before, it's about economic equality, but there's plenty of us to do, plenty for us to do, and not just on race, but on everything. This is America. We should be constantly striving to be the best at everything if we're going to fucking run around and tell everybody we're the best, right?
Right.
But I don't understand these folks who bring that shit with them. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? I mean, look, Ayn Rand was crazy, right?
Yeah.
The stuff she writes about is crazy, but the reason it was crazy is because she came from like fucking communism.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? She was like, fuck this. So she went straight all the way over to the other side. And it makes sense for that to happen. This stuff doesn't make any sense to me, but it does make sense that Jorge and his family would feel pretty strongly about this, because there's a good chance his parents, if not grandparents, were in some kind of shit down there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And dealing with it. So I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either. And the reason why we're talking about this on the sports show this week is before the show started, we got together and we were talking about our schedule for next week as far as the election goes. So we typically do the sports show on Tuesdays. Obviously, next Tuesday is our live election show, so we will have to push sports a day. However, my biggest bet of the entire week, which I will not be able to give you next week because we'll be doing the actual election, is on mybookie.com, and it is Trump. I bet the house. So the max bet was $2,000 on Trump to win. He's at plus 145 or plus 150. So it's paying off at $2,500 for a $2,000 bet. I went all the way in. I posted it this morning in Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Again, it's a private group you can join and see all of our actual betting slips. So you can see it in there. I do not believe the polls. I think Saturday's college football schedule is a fucking trap. There's very few games I'm going to bet on this Saturday. I'm going all in on Trump winning. I do not believe the polls. I do not believe anything that's going on. And look, even if you're just a gambling man, in the last 105 years of this country, an incumbent has only lost one time?
Yeah. And by the way, Rasmussen, so last time, most pollsters were off by about 4 to 6%.
Correct.
Rasmussen was off by about 0.6%, and they had it for Trump. Trump didn't get as many as they thought he was going to, but they called him to win, and they're calling him to win again this year. I give credit to places that have demonstrated their correctness and value, not people who constantly get shit wrong and hyper-politicize everything. You know what I mean? Maybe Rasmussen's wrong. Who knows? Maybe fucking Biden wins by 60 points. Who knows?
Maybe I'm wrong.
The odds are good that Trump is going to win.
Yeah. Look, I have not been wrong about much, and clearly I would not put a max bet of $2,000 down. And again, you can see the betting slip. It's in there, man. That is my hardest bet of the week. I like some NFL games. I'm going to do some teasers and parlays, but very, very few times throughout the year do Dan and I do this. But this college schedule on Saturday, these games feel like a fucking trap. At the end, we're going to bring in Dirty Dan for his pick, and he is not lost in his Dirty Dan pick. We have no idea what it is. We always do it live on the show, and I specifically ask him not to tell me. So he'll give you that. But these Saturday college football games, including my beloved Ohio State, they feel like traps, and there's always one weekend a year where I tell you to kind of bet light. This is the week that I'm going heavy on Trump and the presidency. It feels weird that you can bet it, but I love it, and I went all in on that. That being said, we will start with the Friday night game. It is Marshall at Florida International. I do not see a spread here. As far as that goes, I think Florida International is a AA team.
Yeah,
I'm not sure there is a spread on there. Next up, we got BC at Clemson. You guys know I went hard on Syracuse last week, and I took Syracuse plus the points against Clemson. It's hard to blow teams out every fucking week like this, and Clemson is favored by 31 again. BC is 4-2, man. I think there is a stark difference between teams that have played 6 games like this already versus Big Ten teams that have only played 1. BC knows what they're doing. Can Clemson win 35 by 35? Yes, they can. I just wouldn't trust this, and I'm not going to put my money on it. Man, that's just too many fucking points. BC's 4-2.
That's a lot of points.
31 is a lot, man.
Clemson beat them last year by 52 points.
Yeah. And look, I think BC has improved. That's the tough part about this.
Well, Clemson certainly didn't get worse.
No, they did not. But do you want to look at 31 points square in the ding-dong hole and just say, all right, cool, man. I can't wait for them to be up 5 scores. That's a lot, man.
No, I mean, look, I think they'll probably be up 30 by the end of the first half, but then they're not going to keep playing guys. So it's hard to say.
Why risk it when you're 6-0? Like at this point, you should be resting Lawrence and those guys and getting them ready for the playoffs.
The move is to take the first half.
Yeah.
Whatever. Clemson minus 17.
It'll probably be
Clemson
17 and a half. Yeah, somewhere in there.
BC is 4-2, but they stink. They're a bad 4-2.
But last week Syracuse was 1-4, and
Right.
They were tied at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, but this team's much like last year. They had a much better roster.
I get it.
They're
I just
bad.
for my money,
they stink.
31 points. I'm not going to do it
for the money. Bet the first half. He's absolutely right. That's why I made that. That's why I made that comment. Like I think they do this all the time. Like the game we went to at NC State last year, they were up 35-0
at the end of the first
quarter. It was like, we should have taken the first half bet on that because they didn't really play much. I think they only scored 45 points in the whole game or something, maybe 52.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really do that much in the second half. Clemson likes to come out swinging against these shitty teams and then take the second half off. I mean, if you look at Trevor's performances this year, he's looking a lot like Steph Curry looked like in that 72 win or 73 win season for the Golden State Warriors, where he doesn't play a lot of fourth quarters.
Right.
Like barely any. And I think it's going to end up hurting his chances for Heisman. Honestly, I think
Heisman in the playoffs.
I think your guy's actually going to probably get it.
Justin Fields.
Just based on the way the season's gone for Clemson so far. I was looking at the stats over this weekend. I'm like, man, you're not getting enough snaps in the second half to win that. You got to put up numbers. It's not all about winning for that. It's an individual award. So if you can find, I don't know, does MyBookie have the first half bets on here?
They will closer to game day. So wait till the start of the game, and then they'll have the first half bets on.
They're up there.
Oh, they are.
Hold on, let me see what the first half.
My guess is 17.5, and I'm not even looking at it.
Come on,
let's see how great I am.
They don't have it up yet.
Yeah.
For Clemson, but they will later in the
week. They will later in the week. Yeah, go right before the game, and you can bet live in game and all that other stuff.
If you look on the featured side, if you're trying to find it, by the way. College football odds week 9. Just hit the little down arrow, and it's football odds, and then first half lines. And the first half lines will probably be up by Thursday or Friday, something like that.
Yeah. Next up, we get Georgia at Kentucky. Man, this feels like another trap to me. It's 14.5. If this was under 10, fine. Kentucky's a team that shows up occasionally. Georgia just got smashed by Alabama. It's like, how much do they care? They're still 5. So they could still get that 4th spot. Do I think they probably cover this? Yes. But am I willing to bet it? Not really. I just don't like that line enough to do it, man.
No, I don't like that line enough. I think the really interesting game is actually next week against Florida.
I agree
with them because they'll probably be in good spirits this week, or maybe not in good spirits. They're going to be angry. They're going to play hard. They're probably going to win this game pretty well. Then they're going to run out of gas, and next week versus Florida's probably going to light them up. To be honest.
Ooh, I might take Georgia in that game. I'll see how they look against Kentucky.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
I'm going to stay away from it. This next game is truthfully it sounds odd, but this is the game that I love of this week. It's Memphis against Cincinnati. It's Cincinnati -7. I'm going to knock this down to 6.5, and I'm going to go hard on this. And this might be the only one that I go hard on for Saturday.
Memphis isn't terrible.
They're not terrible. I saw Cincinnati. I watched that entire SMU game because I had to. Yeah. That was the last game in my parlay last week to win for College Saturday. Mm-hmm. And Cincinnati kicked the shit out of SMU, who was number 17, and it wasn't close. Their defense is great. Their offense is great. They're a sleeper for me to get in the Final Four, man. As crazy as that sounds.
They could be, yeah. Memphis is not a bad team, though. That SMU game was kind of an outlier, I think, frankly. They also beat Cincinnati twice last year.
Right.
Like in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to beat a team 3 times in a row.
No.
But, Ohio State beat Michigan a bunch of times in a row. So sometimes it does happen. Now, that's a different class of football team, obviously.
Ohio State is the Khabib of football. So,
but Memphis has done pretty well this year. I don't know if I don't know if they're good enough to beat Cincinnati's better this year. They're way better this year than they were last year.
They looked great in that game, man. Look, I'm going to take it at 6.5, and I'm going to go hard on this one.
Yeah, I'll probably take that.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's my first bet.
I mean,
in
Brady White's like an 8th-year senior for Memphis.
Yeah.
But Norvell's not there. They're not the same Memphis team.
No. It's not the
they
same
had no
team.
business beating my UCF Knights. We just kind of choked that away.
Oh, boy.
Well, they did. They lost by
former
1
national
point.
champions.
They
did,
lost by 1 in overtime.
I think
right?
Cincy waxed them. Like,
Yeah.
I agree.
it's not
I
gonna
could
be
see
close.
Cincinnati beating them by fucking 3 scores, at least 2 probably.
Yeah.
I mean, not 1. This is weird, but if you can take it down to 6.5, you may as well.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a half a point and then go really hard on this, and this will be my most aggressive bet for Saturday's college football. This next one, Michigan is playing Michigan State. This is obviously a rivalry game. This is a big boy spread here. This is Michigan minus 24.5.
Well, that's because Michigan State just got beat by Rutgers, who we make fun of more relentlessly than any other school that plays Division I football.
Correct. And
they're the worst team in Division I football usually.
There was a young man, a strapping young man on our staff. Dirty Dan's dirty pick of the week, filthy pick of the week.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Was Rutgers last week. And Dan and I, real Dan, we laughed at you mercilessly forever. And that game was not even fucking close.
No, they're Shiano men once again.
Yes, they are Shiano men. They're back to touching kids. And, that's Shiano's whole bag, dude. So they're back. He might be the only person that can coach that football team forever.
And he's not good anywhere else.
No,
he has to be.
he was terrible at Ohio State. He was
in North Jersey.
We worked on our defense. He was okay there. But dude, he's got to be in dirty Jersey. He's a dirty Jersey guy, and that was a great pick. And you won the listeners a lot of money on that one. But that's why this line is what it is. I watched the Michigan game against Minnesota, and I was shocked by it. I refused to put money on it last week because I thought it was too close. It was -2 last week.
I wouldn't put money on it this week.
No.
Michigan did well, but they only threw the ball 22 times in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 50 points or 49 points. They threw the ball 22 times, 25 times total. 3 of them were like whoever came in at the end. They ran the ball really well. 256 yards rushing in that game. That is good against any Big Ten team. I don't care if it is Minnesota. You know what I mean? You put up 250 on the ground. That's a big number.
Yeah.
So that run game in Michigan looks pretty goddamn tough.
does.
The problem is with something like that, like you're expecting somebody to run to 50 points. That is a lot harder than passing to 50 points, even in college with the option. And to me, 24.5 spread on that game is too much for me. I don't trust Michigan to fucking do that.
With an over-under of 53. So it's like, all right, you're clearly thinking they're going to win, fucking...
Let me pull out my little calculator here.
What, 35-17 or
I'll tell you what it is.
35 to 10?
What's the over-under?
53.
53.5 or 53?
Just 53 straight up.
Oh, wait. And what's the spread, 24.5?
Yeah, look, I understand why this spread is what it is. Michigan State looked like absolute dog shit last week.
39-14.
Yeah, and it would not surprise me if Michigan blows their doors out this week. But at 24.5, week 2 in the Big Ten, I don't know enough about Michigan yet to give them a 24.5 point victory. And it's not me being a hater or a fucking homer for Ohio State. It's just, look, money's money, and I don't give a shit who it is.
If there's any bets, if you can find, I don't know what usually the props don't come out until later in the week.
Right.
But if you see prop bets about how many points Michigan State is going to score, and you can find something less than 10, I would totally take that bet. I don't think they're going to score 10 points. Michigan State is fucking terrible.
I agree, man. They lost their coach. They lost everybody. So we'll see. Next up is Kansas State against West Virginia. Another odd one, man. When I said this weekend felt like a trap for college football, it does. Kansas State is ranked number 16 in the country. They were playing West Virginia, who was 3-2. The line is West Virginia minus 3.5 in this one. How is that possible over a team that is ranked number 16 in the country versus a team that is unranked to get a 3.5 point fucking spread on that? Like, that's insane to me.
I mean, that's basically a pick'em because it's at Virginia.
It is, but it's like, dude, that's the number 16 team in the number 16 team in the country, and you don't believe in them enough that they're not even favored.
Who has Kansas State beaten?
I've beaten everybody. I think they beat Texas and
they beat Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, that was it.
Texas Tech, TCU, and Kansas. I mean, Oklahoma's clearly not anywhere near as good as anybody thought they were.
No, but West Virginia's 3-2. Who did they lose to?
That's a good question. West Virginia. I mean, they've lost 2 games. Did they play Clemson yet? I mean, who's in that?
West Virginia just lost.
This is the Big 12.
Big 12, yeah. Hang on. They lost to Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Oh, that's not good. They lost to Texas Tech last week, actually.
How are you putting that at -3.5 for West Virginia? I don't understand it. Either way, I hate that conference this year. Unless you're betting the overs in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really tough to pick.
These are 2 really good defenses.
Yeah.
Weirdly in the Big 12, so I would take the under.
The under is 45.5 in this one, and it's going to be about 55 degrees there in Morgantown. So, look, you're going to see chicks dipping in the stands and all that shit, which is fun. But other than that, man, I don't put your money on this.
I actually might take this.
Really? Who are you taking in this?
I might take West Virginia because very frequently, I need to start tracking data on this, but I know anecdotally the last 4 I've looked into where there was a spread that didn't make sense to me almost every single time. 4 out of the 5 times I've looked into it, it's been right. So I'm going to bet this and to see what happens this week.
Yeah. Okay. What are you going to throw a hundo on it? All right.
Yep.
It's good logic. That's why I took Rutgers. That line didn't make sense.
Yeah. Somebody knows something in Vegas. I tell you what Vegas won't do, lose money.
Yeah. That's right.
They won't fucking lose money. They wouldn't put this bet up here if Kansas State was going to win. There's no fucking way.
I understand it. Next up, we got Coastal Carolina at number 20. They're climbing the standings. They might be national champs this year. They're playing Georgia State, who is 2-2. I did not think Georgia State was a 1AA team, but they are.
They score.
And it is Coastal Carolina -2.5 in this game. I still will not bet on Coastal Carolina or Georgia State in any of this bullshit. I'm not willing to put my money on these fringe teams.
Just take the over.
It's 61.5.
Yeah, take the over.
Yeah.
Well, there's on ESPN there is no over. What is it?
Yeah, 61.5 is the over in this game, and I'm not touching that. I'm not touching this game, and I'm gonna keep the fucking $4,600 I won last week. This is stupid. I 2.5, 5-0. They're playing a 2-2 school, and it's 2.5. That is a pick'em game. At Center Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Atlanta, and I didn't even know that fucking stadium.
Georgia State.
I've never been to that stadium.
Sun Belt Conference. They do both score a lot of points.
That's fine, man. My high school team scores a lot of points. I'm not betting on them either this weekend.
Yeah.
So go Chattahoochee. Love you. Hashtag paws up. Go Cougs. But I'm not betting on you either because you scored a lot of points. Next up, we got Iowa State against Kansas.
Now, if you think I'm putting any money on Iowa State at -28.5, you're out of your fucking mind. I don't care if Iowa State had guns for this game and nobody else did. Even if they had everybody on the field had handguns and they could use them however they felt like it, I would still not take this fucking bet.
Oh boy!
I realize Kansas is terrible. They're 0-5. Kansas might be the worst Division I team in all of college football this year, at least in the Power 5. I think they might be the worst, but fuck that, man. Come on. There's no goddamn way I'm giving Iowa State. No. Iowa doesn't even exist. Do you think I'm going to put my money on that shit?
No, this is pure insanity to me. I look, the over-under's 52. I don't. If you're betting on this, man, you're either a diehard fan of one of these schools or you hate your life and you're single. And you're looking for some form of Epstein way out.
Not a chance. If you're trying to get a divorce, put all your fucking money on this. And
put everything on it.
I promise you your wife will leave you on Monday.
Put your child support on it.
She may leave by Sunday. It depends.
Yeah. I don't even know if she'll stay. This is a noon game. She might be out of there at 3:30, packing her bags if you're betting on this shit. Next up is the 3:30 game, and that's Notre Dame against Georgia Tech, who got just curb stomped by fucking Clemson.
Georgia Tech is really bad.
They're 2-4. Notre Dame is number 4 in the country at 5-0. I don't know how this team is 4th in the country. They are awful. It's Notre Dame -20. They're -20 every game, and I think they're 2-3 against the spread or something like that. I don't believe in this team. I don't know what's going to happen. Should they theoretically beat the shit out of Georgia Tech? Yes, they should. You're going to have gorgeous weather there at Bobby Dodd Stadium. 65 degrees in Atlanta. I don't believe in Notre Dame. I will not bet on them this year until they play Clemson, and then I will put all of my money on Clemson against Notre Dame. That is the only time I'm going to bet on Notre Dame this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
That's it. That's the only game I'm looking forward to Notre Dame playing.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no way. I mean, Georgia Tech is really, really bad for sure. There's no question about that. They don't. Their offense is very inefficient. Although they do put up points sometimes, but they're not good in the red zone. They're really bad. Their defense is way worse though. I mean, Notre Dame will probably score 45, 50 points in this game, but I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna fucking risk my hard-earned American dollars.
No.
On Notre Dame.
No.
The only time we'll spend money on Notre Dame is if we're buying some of their memorabilia to burn.
Yeah, that's it. There's a signed Rudy helmet right behind Dan right now.
Oh, yeah, that thing's going up soon.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what we're going to do with it yet.
Burned, crushed, anal, something. It's going inside someone or something.
Bill says Notre Dame beats Clemson. Dude.
That is pure insanity. That is Notre Dame fans at their finest right there.
You have really got to check yourself into the hospital.
God damn it. I'll put it this way. So I made the Rostradamus call of Ohio State versus Nebraska 4 weeks in advance, and I said it was under 27.5. If this Clemson spread is under 23, I will bet the house on Clemson. 23. Because I think that is a 4-score game easily. I think Clemson wins by 4 scores against Notre Dame.
I mean, yeah, right? They're gonna,
I think so.
I think they're going to want to send a message in that game for sure.
Because that's the last game that they could possibly send the voters a message to get the number 1 slot. I think they curb stomp Notre Dame. Whoever said that, put your fucking money up in mybookie.com. I will go all in against you on that goddamn game. That is the only Notre Dame game I'm betting on all year, and I'm betting it all against them on Clemson. And fucking Sunshine will show up and throw 5 touchdowns in that game. Next up is that Wisconsin-Nebraska game we were talking about earlier. There is no spread on ESPN. What do you have on my bookie right now?
Wisconsin-Nebraska on ESPN, it's -3.5. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't have
Unless they just changed it. Hang on, let me refresh.
Yeah, check my bookie here because
my bookie didn't have anything the last time I looked.
Yeah, you're down to a 4th-string quarterback.
No,
in
it's
Wisconsin.
-3.5 on ESPN still.
Okay, for who?
-3.5 Wisconsin.
Okay. Are you still going to take Wisconsin in this game?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to actually take Nebraska in this game. I'm going to take Nebraska to win this. This will be our Fight Club game of the week. I'm only going to throw a hundo on this because I'm not real confident in it. Nebraska's missing a couple defensive backs for the targeting calls for the first half of this game, but I don't know how you play with a 4th-string quarterback.
Wouldn't worry about that. They're going to run the ball a lot.
One would think Nebraska would just stack the box the entire
Can you take
game.
a prop bet on Vanden Boom's pass attempts? I would take the under.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. They won't be out yet.
They won't be out
yet.
But
later in the week, yeah, I would look at that too. I would say the over-under, that's probably going to be 23, and he'll throw 17 passes maybe. But you never know. If they get behind, he's going to have to throw.
Look, we'll see. I was one of the few people that was oddly impressed with Nebraska, and I think there's a future there with McCaffrey. So I'm going to actually take Nebraska in the upset, and I think this is going to be one of those games that the pundits afterwards talk about of like, here's what happens when you get COVID and you don't have a starting quarterback. And I don't know what to do here because if they get blown out by Nebraska. Chances are they're going to get blown out by Michigan, and they won't make it on that side of the conference. And it'll be because of COVID, and it's weird to me, man. We talked about this before the season started. What do you do when your superstar player has COVID? It's happened twice now with Cam Newton, and then now with this guy. So we'll see. But I'm going to try it the similar way that you're going to try the other thing. I'm going to take Nebraska.
Do we know anything about this quarterback from Wisconsin? Is he a runner? Is he a passer, pocket passer? What is he?
I don't even know if we have his birth certificate. This could be a Obama birther situation with Kenya. I don't know. I don't even know what race he is. Ethnicity, height, weights.
Hang on, I'll see.
I don't even know if he has 2 arms and 2 legs.
What's his name? Vanden Boom?
Vanden Boom.
Danny Vanden Boom is definitely not black.
It's a sweet name, though.
He's
if I could just bet on his name?
He's a junior. He's 6'5", 207 pounds from Kimberly, Wisconsin. Let me look at his career stats here. He's thrown 1 pass.
Did he
2
complete
years
it?
ago.
Did he complete it?
Oh, yeah, for 3 yards. He threw a 3-yard touchdown pass.
Oh, he threw a touchdown.
Yeah, his only pass.
3-star out of high school.
He's a 3-star.
Oof, that's not great.
That means walk on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, look, man.
If 3-star at Wisconsin.
This game's going to go one way or another. They're either going to make a movie about this kid and he's going to fucking lead them to victory.
Seriously, this could be his fucking Tom Brady moment.
This could be his Rudy. Yeah, this could be his Rudy movie right here. We'll find out.
Well, hopefully it's not Rudy. Rudy made like 3 plays and he never did shit for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
right?
this kid's never going to play the rest of his life either.
You never know, man. Like Tom Brady was pretty well recruited out of high school, but he sat on the bench for a minute there in Michigan.
He did, yeah.
Nobody cared about him. Even after he had that run, NFL teams didn't think he was ever going to make it. They drafted him in the 6th round. He became the best quarterback of all time.
He lost 3 out of 4 to Ohio State too in college. So
yeah, he's always going to.
Yeah. Next up, we got Indiana at Rutgers. What's the line on this one here?
I think I saw 11.5.
11.5 is what it is.
It was. It opened up at 13 and it's moved down.
Why is this in doubt? Is somebody sick or hurt?
Like, why is it in doubt?
Yeah, there's no spread here on ESPN, so I'm wondering
why is Brittany quoting Joe Dirt?
I'm wondering if.
Oh, talking to my man all wrong. I love that shit. Rutgers, that's a team, right?
Yeah,
the oldest.
Indiana looked like
the oldest team.
They looked good, man, against Penn State.
The defense was. I mean, it wasn't. It's still -11, and it's a 52.5. But hold on, let me look at this. Let me look at the stats before I start talking out of school.
I'm not gonna touch this game. Are you kidding me?
No.
I just want to see what
dude.
the stats were. So Penn State,
they've got Indiana at 17 right now, and that's very generous after what they did. But no, we're week 2 in the Big Ten.
Indiana had
don't bet this game.
They had 170 yards passing and 41 yards rushing.
Yeah. They had the ball like 4 minutes out of the entire game. It was the strangest game I've ever seen in my life.
And they were beating Penn State the entire first half.
Yeah, but they had the ball for – look at the time of possession. It'll shock and alter your mind.
Penn State had 238 passing, 250 on the ground. So clearly Indiana doesn't do well with the run. How well did Rutgers run the ball last week? I mean, what were they doing exactly against Michigan State? Because typically Michigan State – if nothing else, has a pretty decent defense, particularly run defense. That's kind of what they're known for. So what the fuck happened last week?
Either way, I'm not touching this game. I don't care about it. I would encourage you not to bet on this game.
They gave up 100 yards rushing to fucking Rutgers. Are you kidding me?
This next game's super interesting. This is Texas at Oklahoma State. This is the 4 o'clock game, and this is Oklahoma State -3.5. You know our rule about betting the Big 12 this year. Good luck. It's like fucking a Haitian hooker without a condom. Hey man, if you walk away without some form of STD, congratulations. But do you want to risk it? You want to risk your dick on that biscuit? I don't, and I think Texas is one of those teams that could show up one week and beat a team like Oklahoma State and ruin their playoff chances. Because let's face it, if Oklahoma State loses this, there's no Big 12 teams that will be eligible to play for the national championship.
Yeah, and I think they know that too. Texas has been streaky this year. I mean, they beat Baylor last week, but the 2 weeks prior to that, they just got fucking curb stomped.
Yeah.
This is another one where I really want to bet it because I think Oklahoma State should win, but the fact that it's at home, I mean, this is a pick 'em. It's 3.5. And it's at their home stadium. No fucking way. Yeah. Like Vegas doesn't have any confidence in Oklahoma State winning this game. They're just trying to bait a couple of people into betting on it.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, if you're betting on the Big 12 this year, good luck. The over-under is fine, man. If you want to take a 58.5, feel free. All those fucking overs in the Big 12 always come through because there's no defense there. But we'll see. Next up, my fave is finally back in the top 25. I have waited all season to say this, Dan. Boise State is back in the top 25. They're playing Air Force. This is Boise State -14. You know my rule on the show, always bet on Boise. Just because they're back in the top 25, I'm going to put 100 on this at 13.5. I'll buy a half a point and just take Boise because I enjoy Boise State.
Yeah, I'll take that. Just
for shits and gigs.
In honor of Alex Guerrero, who we haven't seen in a while.
No, he was at the World Series with Benny, though, the other night.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him in person in a while. I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but whatever.
It's COVID. COVID's what it is.
No.
By the way, all these tickets for all these events, you can go to drinkinbrostickets.com and get them if they're available. Big Ten does not have tickets this year for sale. Gene Smith, the athletic director for Ohio State, says he hopes to have 20% back towards the end of the season, we will see how this works out. In particular, next week with the election, I have a feeling a lot of things are going to change after that, and we might be opening up some of our bars and restaurants and stadiums again. We'll see. But I'll take Boise at 13.5 on this one. Next up, we got Alabama, who has looked unbelievably impressive this year.
Alabama.
Yeah.
I love Forrest Gump.
Greenbow, Alabama.
He played there,
He did.
I believe.
He did. He was great. Great returner.
Bill
he was All-American.
He was, yeah. 44.
Drank 14 Dr. Peppers.
Wow.
And got this spread up to 31.5.
Probably would have been a Trump fan.
Probably against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is 1-3. They came out of the gates hot with Mike Leach. They put up 90 points against LSU. That is their only victory of the year. Since then, they cannot score one single point. I'm not sure what has happened to this team or what's going on or what everybody else figured out that LSU didn't. But this is Alabama minus 31. Oof, that's a lot of points, man. But Bama looks great this year. That sucks about Waddle. That kid was so fucking talented, and he's gone for the year with a broken ankle. 31 is too much for me, though. I'm going to stay away from this.
Yeah, I'm not going 31 unless there's a reason. Like, let's be real frank about this. Alabama doesn't have any competition in the SEC. I don't think Florida or Georgia are anywhere in the same ballpark as them. So I don't think they feel like they have any competition either. So there's no reason to go out and fucking blow a team up like that.
Right.
You just don't have the impetus. Now, I understand why Ohio State did it. They're 3-4 weeks behind.
Yeah,
they have to come out and make a statement. And I think Ryan Day apologizing for that was kind of bullshit. So let's get into this next game, Ohio State at Penn State. It's not going to be a whiteout game this year because they don't have enough fans to white anything out.
Although the cement seats will still be white.
Yeah. And so were most of the people.
Yeah, a lot of honkies in the state of Pennsylvania.
The state of Penn, I believe.
And that state is also going to decide the election next week.
Minnesota might actually.
Swing states.
Yeah, they got Ohio State minus 12.5 on ESPN. What is it on my bookie? Let me check.
So this game started, because I checked this game yesterday when the spreads dropped. Yeah, it was at 13.5. It is dropping steadily. Here's what I will say, man. For whatever reason, Ohio State every year does not cover against Penn State. They play terribly until the fourth quarter, and then, they come back and win by one score, and it's a miraculous fucking comeback every time. There is certain schools that play, they've got their fucking curse. Whatever it is, man, Penn State is that team. At week 2 in the Big Ten at 12.5, I don't bet on this, and truthfully, this game traditionally every year is a one-score game. I look at the time of possession that Penn State had. I think Indiana was a fluke last week. Ohio State is great, but they need some time, man. This is only week 2 of the season.
Yeah.
And you're already thrown into the fucking fire against Nebraska and Penn State here at Penn State. And I know what you're saying. There's no fans and all that other shit. You still have to travel. You still have to deal with the weather and all that shit there. It's going to be 46 at game time. It is the game of the week on Halloween night. Weird shit happens, man. I am actually going to put this in a 6-point teaser, and take this down to 6.5. I'm not going to take this game straight up, though, which will probably be a shock to you guys. I'm not going to take Ohio State straight up at 12.5.
No, I'm not either. I mean, I'd like to, because they're definitely going to win. There's something about this particular game. Nobody ever seems to dominate it.
You and I have been to the last three years in a row. We've been to this game together. It has been the same fucking game every single year, and there's been no reason for it. Ohio State was clearly better every year, but for whatever reason, man, this is the curse for them. So this is a trap. I'm going to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I'll take it in a 6-point teaser because I think it's a 7-point game. But
I mean, if you just want to go bet the money line, Ohio State. You're
not going to win any money, but whatever, man. But because Ohio State is definitely going to win. Now, if they come out and blow them out by like fucking 28 points or 30 points or whatever, then I don't know who's stopping Ohio State this year. But to me, it's early. Their defense isn't there yet. They're just getting adjusted week 2 for these guys. I'm going to stay away from it, actually.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going all in on Trump. This Saturday feels like a trap, and I'm going hard in Cincinnati. Next up, we got Arkansas at Texas A&M. This is Texas A&M minus 12. Arkansas has won a couple games this year. I'm surprised.
I don't understand how we're just a couple of weeks into the season and we've got a one-loss team in the top 10. That's odd to me. And granted, the win-loss was against Alabama, and they did beat Florida, who was number 4 at the time. But let's be real, Florida is not a number 4 ranked team.
No.
There were 4 because there were no fucking Big Ten teams in this lineup.
Right.
This is. I'm not gonna bet this game.
I
don't believe in any way in Texas A&M. I'm surprised. I can't believe they're even fucking ranked 8th. That's weird to me.
It's weird to me too. This is a game though that I will put in a 6-point teaser and knock this down to 6. So I will be posting a college football teaser. This will be in there. Ohio State will be in there at 6.5. But again, I'm taking 6 points on these teasers to knock these down, and I'm going to do the same thing with Cincinnati and knock that down to 1 and that 6-point teaser. But sign up for Drinkin Bros Sports, and you'll get to see the actual bets on Saturday and Sunday mornings. But I'm not going to bet this game straight up. Next is Missouri at Florida. Out of respect for Giorgio. This is minus 13 for Florida. I'm not going to take it. Look, who is it that Missouri beat? Was it LSU?
It was LSU.
It was LSU. Yeah.
We got one in us. That's about it.
They just beat
LSU's
Kentucky last
terrible.
week.
Who did?
Mizzou.
Oh, Mizzou. Good for them. Look.
Congrats.
They're
starting to roll.
No.
They put up 20.
Bring back the spread offense.
They put up 20 points against Kentucky.
20 points, man.
And Kentucky's, Jesus Christ. Kentucky's quarterback was 4 of 11 for 38 yards.
Yeah. He threw 11 passes for Kentucky.
Good for him. Took the day off.
Good for him. No.
Is he in the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
No.
Wait, how did they have so few possessions? They had 22 carries and 14 passes. How is it even possible?
3 and out, 3 and out.
3 and out, 3 and out,
Holy
3 and
shit,
out.
dude.
Yeah, man. These games are weird, man. I don't like this game either. I'm not even going to put this in a teaser because that would still put me at 7 on this. And like Florida, I don't know. They had no defense against Texas A&M. Who knows, man? Next up, we got Navy against SMU. You're piston in the win on this one, too. It's SMU minus 14. SMU got rocked by Cincinnati last week. And,
they've got pedigree, though. Shane Buechele was Steve Buechel's son.
Oh, yeah?
He used to play third base for the Cubs back in the day and the Rangers, I believe.
Good for them. Good for that whole family.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving should be fun at your house. But
well, not if you're in California because you're not allowed to have more than 3 households represented, right? So here's how it works. If you're a human being, right? Let's say you're a parent. Let's say you're a parent and you have 3 children.
Yep.
So only 2 of them can come over.
Only 2 of them can live.
This is in California.
Yeah.
This is like rules that Gavin Newsom put out.
We're going to do this on fake news this week.
The shit has to be outside. It's like the weirdest. I've never seen anything like this before.
If you're going to have a gathering of 10 people at your house, it's got to be outside. And you can celebrate Christmas outside. And, or inside of a bubble.
And make sure you put your mask back on after you finish putting a bite of food in your mouth.
Yeah, because God forbid the COVID doesn't get through the turkey.
Yeah.
Next up, we got North Carolina at Virginia. This is UNC minus 6.5. UNC covered last week against NC State. Virginia is 1-4 this year. I'm fine with it if you're a fan of this team, but this doesn't get my dick hard. This doesn't get me to put some getroman.com/Drinkin Bros inside my penis skin to bet on this. I don't.
North Carolina does seem like they're turning a corner, but look, there's other shit to bet on, and maybe they're a good team to bet on next year.
Yeah, just not this. I don't have all the faith in the world in these guys.
I mean,
I'm not going to tell you to bet on shit that I wouldn't bet on in real life, man. It's just that'd be fucked up.
Yeah, losing to Florida State a couple of weeks ago was not good.
No, it was not. I mean, they got housed by Florida State. Yeah. Oklahoma, it was back in the top 25. Congratulations, Sooners fans. They're playing Texas Tech, and this is OU minus 14 in this game. Over under, I like though. It's because it's 69.
Yeah.
But that's about all I like about this game.
No, because you don't know. I mean, Texas Tech is pretty bad.
Yeah. And look, these teams could put up 1,000 points on the board.
Yeah. I mean, Texas Tech will probably score 20 or 30 points. So, I mean,
if you're into that, again, this whole Saturday feels like a trap, dude. Look for teasers. Look for one game. Put your balls in that, but don't go hard on all these games. I'm telling you. There's some good NFL games tomorrow. I mean, on the next round of this, we're going to talk about here. Western Kentucky is playing BYU. BYU's been covering every spread. Every spread has been 30. This one's 29.
Yeah, I mean they don't. I don't know where they found this collection of teams, but they're probably
BYU's 11.
Yeah, I mean they're probably go undefeated unless Boise State can take them out.
Hey, they might. A lot of teams or a lot of people are saying that they might sneak into that fourth slot.
Do you think
that fourth team?
Do you think the Mermans out there? There's no way they get to top 4. But do you think the Mermans out there are going to declare themselves national champions like this asshole's fans did?
Yeah.
UCF.
Look, this is Epstein school. I don't care how you bring them, just bring them young.
We beat Troy.
We beat Troy in
Louisiana
Western
Tech,
Kentucky.
you piece of shit.
We deserve this.
No, you don't.
Spam risk, North Carolina. Let me guess, you're going to tell me who to vote for. So we're going to flip on over to the NFL. Save your money. Take some parlays. Have a little bit of fun on these games, but don't try to pay your mortgage on any of this shit. This college football slate is dog shit this week. Look, the Ohio State-Penn State game is great. I'm just talking about point spread-wise. Save your money on these college football games, and you can bet some NFL ones because they're real good. Oh, no. Are the Falcons the Thursday night game? Gross.
These have consistently been
1
the
and
worst
6.
games.
Thank God I denounced my teams the week before. Is what a fucking disgrace it was. Each week as a Falcons fan, you don't think it can get any worse, and then it does.
They can't even score points without losing.
No. Todd Gurley scored the only touchdown in the history of the NFL to lose a game.
You know what that's like? That's like for weeks you've been trying to dunk, right? And you're so close. You're hitting the rim. If I could just palm the ball.
Yeah.
And then finally you get up there and jam it through, and you break your fucking arm off.
Yep.
That's what being an Atlanta Falcons player and fan is like, I would imagine.
Correctamundo. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. This is Carolina minus 2.5. No. Nope. No. Please hear me when I say no. I'm not touching this. I'm not watching this. I don't even want it on near me. If any of the neighbors is watching it, I will disconnect their power. I don't want this game anywhere near my fucking eyeballs and or face. I can tell you this, Atlanta will be up by 17, and then they will somehow lose it. There is a rumor that McCaffrey is coming back for Carolina.
He might, yeah. We'll see.
Which, look, my fantasy teams this year, this is the worst year I've ever had in fantasy. Every single player has been out for the year. I've Nick Chubb, Eckler, Dak Prescott. You name the fucking major superstar injury, they're on all my teams. I've bombed out in every league this year. I hope McCaffrey comes back so I can have a shot at this because he's on half my teams. What happens is you win the year before and you get the first pick. I took McCaffrey in all these leagues. I hope he plays. I just don't want to watch it. I'll watch it on my fantasy thing, but that's about it, man. The Falcons are 1 and 6, and they should go 1 and 15 and try to get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. Because there's a rumor that Trevor Lawrence does not want to come out and play for the Jets.
Yeah, I've heard that too. As a matter of fact, ESPN interviewed him yesterday, and he was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I might
come back to Clemson.
Might come back.
I would too. Stay. He just got engaged to a hot-ass girl. He's in college. Stay for 1 more year. Have tons of sex and enjoy your life and be a champion. Try for another championship because you're not getting one in the NFL for a long time.
I mean, definitely don't go to the Jets. Whatever you got to do to not go to the Jets.
Oof, I don't want him to go to the Jets because I don't want him to get hurt. Fuck, man.
Although, I mean, so far Burrows is standing tall. He looks good. He looks like
he looks great.
He looks like he belongs in the NFL. He looks like
he also might die.
If you put him on a team that is just in search of a quarterback, that he would already be successful. I really believe that.
Oh, 100%, man.
Like if he was on the Patriots or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Cam Newton sucks.
Can you imagine if he was on the Patriots? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't know if Belichick would let him play the way he plays because he likes to throw the ball deep. I mean, he's got a fucking cannon on him.
Fun to watch, man.
But like a team like Minnesota, somebody like that, who's got a pretty good team, but Kirk Cousins has little tiny testicles or something. I don't know what his deal is, but he can't fucking perform when the game's on the line. Any of those teams other than the Bengals, but look, we'll see what happens with the Bengals.
I don't have a lot of faith in the Bengals.
I don't either. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of money to spend and stuff. And who the fuck wants to move to Cincinnati? That is basically Northern Kentucky. Let's be real.
It is, yeah. Cincinnati.
So I don't know if they're going to be able to attract talent there, but I'll tell you this. If I am a wide receiver free agent right now, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to play for the Bengals because that dude airs it out all the time. My stats are going to be crazy.
T. Higgins is looking good, man.
Yeah.
Who knows? I just I hope he can stay upright and be healthy so we can see him for many, many years.
Yeah, we'll see.
Trevor Lawrence, though, I would not go to the Jets. Jesus Christ. I'd pull an Eli Manning and ask for a trade or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. If the Bengals' first pick in the draft isn't an offensive lineman, I feel
then
like
they hate Burrow.
Yeah, they hate him. They don't care about him.
Great segue, though, if Burrow was playing for the Patriots. The Patriots are up next, and there's a rumor that Cam is on a very short leash.
Yeah.
And that
he said benched. himself.
I understand it, man. This is Buffalo minus 3.5. Buffalo, last couple weeks have had some difficulty with spreads. I took them in a 6-point teaser this week, and I did them in a teaser with Kansas City and won a fucking grand on that. It was great. I don't know what's happening with this team, though, because they don't look sharp, and Josh Allen hasn't looked that great. Cam is playing for a starting position here. This is at the Bills. Patriots look like dog shit, man. They're 2-4, exactly like I predicted. But I'll go the Bills. I will probably take this down to a half and get it at 3 just in case they push. But I'm going to take the Bills in this one. Yeah, you hate going against Belichick.
I do, but I don't think. Man, they don't have. If it were last year or the year before, without regard to Brady being on the team, I probably would have taken the Patriots here because the combination of Sony Michel and James White causes problems for anybody. Mm-hmm. But for a team like the Bills who don't have a great run defense, and I mean, honestly, they had the best pass rush in the league. There's no question about that, statistically speaking. But their run defense has been exposed the last couple of weeks.
But I think Sony Michel's playing.
He's not. They got Damian Harris and James White and Rex Burkhead. I mean, I would really expect to see Belichick come with. I think all 3 of those guys get 5 or more
touches.
Carries. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the receivers do end arounds and stuff like that. I'm probably not going to bet this because I feel like Belichick's smart. The Bills have a fatal flaw right now, and they haven't been able to stop people from running on them. And I think if anybody can take advantage of that, regardless of what personnel they have, it's Belichick, and I expect him to fully come out and do that shit, so I'm not going to bet this game.
I am. I'm going to take it down a half a point and take the Bills in this one and think they get back on the right track here. I picked the Bills to win this division, and I'm going to stick with that. Next up, we've got the Titans and the Bengals. I love this game. Love this game. This is Tennessee minus 6. I have been thoroughly impressed with Tennessee this year. In particular, Derrick Henry, who is probably second in MVP behind Russell Wilson. And he might overtake him. We'll see. I like the Titans, and I like Derrick Henry just to absolutely run over the Bengals in this game. Tannehill's looked pretty fucking good. A lot of Titans fans saying tighten up in here for the last few weeks. And I'm on your side. I'm taking Tennessee in this one. I think it's they'll win by 7. It's minus 6 right now.
Well, the Bengals have one of the worst run defenses in the entire league.
Correct.
So, and even with a good run defense, stopping Derrick Henry is no small task. But he's not a small man. He's a very large man. And there's the pass defense for Tennessee is brutal.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
At that. I don't see how I know Burrow's pulled a little shit out of his ass this year. I mean, he's 1-5, but he's actually thrown up. They've been close in some games where they should not have been close.
They have, man, just simply because of Burrow.
But not this time.
No, not this time. And I think Joe Mixon is still out in this one. We'll see if he comes back. I know Giovanni Bernard started last week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm still taking the Titans all day long in this one. This is one of my favorite games in the NFL. Yep. I'm also going to take this in a teaser as well at a minus 6 and get this down to a pick'em game. Next up, we got the Raiders and the Browns. Now, this one I'm going to stay away from. It's Cleveland minus 2.5. I actually think the Raiders will probably win this game.
Yeah.
But OBJ is out for the year. He got a torn ACL, which is yet another one of my players who's gone on my fantasy. Every fantasy guy I have is on IR at this point. And I don't know how they're going to respond to this. I know they had a miraculous comeback last week, but Baker Mayfield started that game 0 for 5 and then went 18 for 18. And then
I've got something on this.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield against everybody except for the Bengals is 3-2, 59% completion percentage, 8 TDs, 5 interceptions, and an 80% passing rating. He's that would rank him 30th in the league amongst quarterbacks. He is dog shit.
I agree.
Why is he still playing?
I've been
like
saying
literally
this
the last
forever.
He's the worst starter in the NFL.
Yes.
There's no question about that. Statistically, he is the worst starter in the entire NFL. This motherfucker's got
They're 5-2.
Before OBJ got hurt, he had maybe the best collection of offensive tools collectively speaking, other than Kansas City that exists in the league right now.
But half of them are gone now. So
They are
Nick
all
Chubb
gone
is
now.
out for the year.
Yeah.
OBJ is out for the year.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking myself into the Raiders on this. I'm going to take the Raiders on this game, actually. Look, the Raiders have looked pretty goddamn good.
The Raiders look good. I mean, the games they've lost are against extremely good defenses.
Yes, dude, and top teams like the Bucs and all those guys.
I mean, they lost to the Buccaneers.
They beat the Chiefs.
The
They beat
Buccaneers
the brakes off the Chiefs.
The Buccaneers and the Patriots absolutely murdered them on in the passing game.
Yeah.
I mean, they just lit them up.
But those are tough teams, man.
Yeah,
like,
those are really good defenses. In the other game they lost, the Bills also very good pass defense.
I have talked myself into the Raiders live on air. Actually, this has not happened, but I have talked myself into the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders in this. Fuck it. And with that 6-point teaser, that'll get me at plus 4.5 on the other side. Ooh, I love it. I'm taking the Raiders. Fuck you.
We'll see. Kareem Hunt could have a big game.
He could. He's the only one alive on my fantasy roster who's still alive. Somebody tried to trade for him today, and I was like, dude, that's the last living guy I've left. Might as well fucking trade me for Jessica Tandy on the Titanic.
And Josh Jacobs for the Raiders has also not looked great this year.
Was Jessica Tandy, was she in the Titanic? Was she old
I
Rose?
don't know.
All old people look the same.
I'm not even sure who Jessica Tandy is.
All old ladies. She's driving
she was
Miss Daisy.
in,
no, it's not her. It's the wrong person. She was driving Miss Daisy. She was Miss Daisy.
Oh, I don't remember that.
She was in Cocoon. I know you're a huge Cocoon
Was she
fan.
in American Horror Story?
You used to masturbate to Cocoon all the time.
Wilford Brimley, yeah. Big fan of that mustache.
I'm taking the Raiders. Are you betting this game?
Fuck no.
I'm going to. I'm going to bet the Raiders. I like it. The Raiders. Next up, we got the Colts against the Lions. Not one prayer in this universe am I touching this game. This is -3. Colts are 4-2, surprisingly. Lions are 3-3 with just another dagger on the fucking Falcons last week. Stafford drove the ball the length of the field and hit T.J. Hawkinson in the end zone. Celebration in Atlanta. Proud of you, but this does not make me want to bet this game. This is Indianapolis -3, not one prayer. This is the correct spread. This is going to be a field goal game or something weird, and
I'm definitely not going to watch this.
Yeesh.
This is going to be one of the most boring games of all time.
yeah, I don't want to see it in my face.
This next game is not going to be boring if you like.
It's not, and I'm betting the shit out of this.
If you like points being scored and the Jets not scoring them.
If you like points being scored and sex without condoms, this is the game for you. And I'm going to bet this today as soon as we get off the show. Because it is -6.5. Is it still -6.5 on my bookie?
Which game are you talking about?
Vikings against the Packers.
Oh, no. I was looking at the Chiefs. Vikings-Packers. Let me check.
Fudge Packers.
It's 7 now.
God damn it. I knew it. I'll take this down to 6.5. This is going to keep going up, by the way. I'm going to take this. I'll buy the 0.5 point and take this 6.5 and take Green Bay. I think they fucking annihilate the Vikings, and this is it. The Vikings are 1-5. They've given up this year, and they're probably looking for a replacement for Kirk Cousins there. So what's the point of even playing there? Is Dalvin Cook still out? What's his story? Is he playing?
I don't know if he's even alive, to be honest.
Find a milk carton if you're in the Minneapolis area and see if Dalvin Cook is on it. I'm all done with them. The Packers have been rolling this year. Aaron Rodgers, since he became the coach of the Packers last year, is calling all the right plays for that team.
They look good.
They
look good for sure. And the
They
Vikings
do. I don't know what happened to Aaron Jones, though. God damn it. I started Aaron Jones, then all of a sudden game time hit, and it was like, well, he's not playing. Sorry, fuckface.
That happened to me last week with Mike Evans. I mean, I guess he was playing, but he didn't do.
No, he didn't do anything.
He didn't catch. He caught 2 passes both in the fourth quarter.
Him, T.Y. Hilton have been the same player this year. I don't know what's going on, man, with some of these. It's a weird fantasy season, man. Look, some of you assholes who have longed to beat me for years and years and years and Drinkin Bros, congratulations. This is going to be the year. I don't have any players that are healthy and that can just stay alive for one whole football game. But this, I love the Packers, and I'm taking it at -6.5, and I'm also going to take this in a parlay and teaser. Are you betting this game?
Yeah, I think Packers are going to dominate this game.
I agree. Next up, we get
their defense has actually looked pretty good this year.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It gets overlooked a lot, but their defense is doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's a decent team.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Jets against the Chiefs. Jets are 0-7. Chiefs are 6-1. This is the highest point spread in the NFL this entire year.
I haven't seen one this big ever, I don't think.
Last year, I did against Miami, and it was I think it was Chiefs against Miami last year.
But they covered it, didn't they?
No.
I mean, like Miami
they did.
Miami
Miami
covered. They're in.
Yeah. So, look up the stats for when a spread is this high because I'd be curious as to what it is. It is minus 19.5 for KC. Now, look, we say the same thing about KC every single week. If they play to their potential, this should be 65-0.
Yeah.
But they don't. They don't ever do that. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they win 45-0. I had a total of $3,000 on the Chiefs last week, and they won by 30, and it was great, and everybody laughed and partied and danced. 19.5 is so brutal, man, that I'm not touching it.
Fucking way. I'm putting 19.5 on an NFL. I don't care who. I mean, there's no way.
No, maybe on a teaser at 13.5. I'll take 6 down to 13.
I mean, I would take that 13.5 for sure. They're gonna.
So I'll put this in a teaser, but I'm not touching that spread straight up. There's no way. That's too many points, man. That's fucking crazy. Darnold is back starting, so who knows, man? Maybe he throws a couple touchdowns.
Yep.
We'll see. Next up is Rams at the Dolphins. I am going all in on this game. This is Tua's first start. Mm-hmm. I do not believe in Tua. I thought he was a shitty pick for the Dolphins.
This might be his only start. If the Rams defense gets him,
if Aaron Donald gets to that hip bone, it's connected to the leg bone, and that's gonna rip right out of the socket, homeboy. I am all in on the Rams, and they looked great last night. Betting on the Bears this year has been difficult for me, so I sat out last night. But I am all in on Rams, Dolphins, and there's no fucking way that you're going to complete balls downfield against Jalen Ramsey and those guys. Like, I don't believe that.
Forget about Aaron Donald for a minute because they're obviously going to be covering him, and start learning the name Leonard Floyd because he's the guy on the other side, and he is in single coverage all day long, and he's learning everything he knows from Aaron Donald. Like, I don't know if you watched that game this week, but holy shit, man. I mean, he's doing the same moves. He's doing the jump swat, like where you fucking lift your body up and swat their arms down and then just like curl past them. It's very technical shit, but he's also a beast. He's always been a beast. He just didn't know what the fuck he was doing, apparently, according to the announcers. I've never heard of the guy. But with 2 edge rushers like that and Jalen Ramsey behind you, I mean, good fucking luck, dude. Good luck, Tua. Welcome to the NFL. You're going to get picked 3 times. He might get murdered. There's no fucking way.
Man, I'm betting this shit.
The Rams are only 4-3 against the spread this year, but I mean, come on, man.
Covered it last night, man. I didn't have any problems with that, and they're 5-2, man. That NFC West is brutal. That's the only conference in the entire NFL where all teams have a winning record.
Is he going to try to run in the NFL?
No, he better not.
I mean,
he's got little squirrel. Doesn't he have squirrel parts in his legs because they had to for his ankles?
He's
and all
quick.
Shit?
He's really quick, but
my grandma's quick too.
He doesn't. I mean, how far can he even throw the ball?
14 yards.
Like I remember watching him the last couple of years in college, and he's like does the big wind up and throws the ball, and it just looks like it's dead.
I don't believe in this kid at all, dude. Man, this is going to turn up. I have a feeling in Miami this is going to be like the end of the Sixth Sense.
We're probably going to have to put Craig on suicide watch.
I know. And Craig will be here next week. So,
yeah.
Craig, wait till we're here. You have friends in us. That's what Drinkin Bros is all about.
Yeah.
Next up, we get the Steelers against the Ravens. This is arguably one of the games of the week, man. Steelers are 6-0. Ravens are 5-1. Baltimore minus 3.5. And that is exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing about the Steelers as I said last week. This is a great game to watch. I do not want to bet this game. That Steelers-Titans game was an awesome game to watch. It came down to the last play. This is probably going to come down to the last play. Therefore, I'm not going to take it, but I will watch the shit out of this at 1 o'clock, man, all day long. This is a great game. Great game.
Yeah. I mean, Baltimore is only 3-3 against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh is 5-1 against the spread. Not that necessarily means anything, but this is the biggest game of the year so far. This is for who's the real challenger to Kansas City in the AFC. That's what this game is right now. Who's the number 1 contender? And if you're the Steelers, you can afford to lose here, to be honest, because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is not going to get in Ben Roethlisberger's head ever. But if the Ravens lose here again, and then 2 top teams at that point record-wise in the AFC have both fucking lit his ass up this year, I think that's a big problem for the Ravens. So we're about to see what he's made of here.
I agree.
Like, he didn't do that great in the playoffs when he came up against the Chiefs again and didn't look that great. So I think this game more than those previous two, you're going to see what Lamar Jackson's made of, because now the pressure is really on.
Yeah, and again, game of the week, I'm amped about it. I'm just not betting on it because it should come down to a field goal. Like both teams are equally matched, and two great defenses. Roethlisberger's looked great this year. The spread is exactly where it should be. Therefore, I'm not going to bet on it.
We should find a place to watch the games on Sunday, since all these dumb dick DBs, like Richard and Craig and Ruben, are all going to be in town.
Are they? Shit.
Like sometime, I think they get in sometime Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Hit us up, dude. Let us know. Next up, we get the Chargers against the Broncos. Not one prayer. Am I betting on this game?
No.
This is Chargers
minus
-3.
You know what? I'll take
Herbert
this.
has looked pretty good.
I'll take this game.
Who are you taking?
Chargers. The Chargers are, I think, undefeated against the spread this year.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Which means, I mean, it could mean a lot of things. It could mean it's a coincidence, but it could also mean that Vegas hasn't figured out. And that's, I mean, this is a 6-point spread, technically speaking, because you get 3 for being at home normally if you have a good home field, and Broncos do because they have the Mile High Stadium, right? So they're definitely going to get 3 or 4 points for that. So this is you're really looking at a bigger than 3-point gap, and if everybody plays their ability. So the Chargers have been consistent against the spread. I'm taking this one.
Okay.
At 3.
I am going to sit this one out. Next up is the Saints at the Bears. Look, man, the Saints have not been kind to me this year, gambling-wise, and neither have the Bears. I purposely sat out that Monday night game last night for the Bears. I have not figured them out all year. They're 5-2. The Saints are 4-2. All of them barely win games. Both of these teams barely win games week after week, and Breeze looks like he's 1,000 years old. I don't know who Nick Foles is. It's a strange. Both these teams are strange, and they're looking for an identity. The line is New Orleans -4 right here. That's where that spread should be, but I don't put my money on it.
Oh shit! Alex Jones and Tim Dillon are on Joe Rogan today.
Right now?
Right now, yeah. It's awesome.
I'm gonna text Alex Jones.
Alex told me this weekend he was
Tim
going to be
Dillon on the fucking show. Is he here? Text.
Yeah.
Alex, let's get Tim Dillon on the show.
Well, I'll text him
love
now.
that guy. Like literally text him right now. Fuck, dude. That's great. What a crazy fucking show that's going to be. Way to go. I saw Giorgio's eyes light up over there. That's a shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Jones was...
They'll probably be here through the week, maybe, for the election.
Is he?
I remember Tim saying something about being with Joe around the election, so that might be this show he was talking about. I don't know if he's going to stay until then.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll see.
God damn, I'd love to get him on. That'd be great.
I mean, I don't...
Get him on tomorrow or tonight. I don't give a shit. Have him come in tonight. Let's do it.
Let's make it work.
Yeah. Tell him we'll do tonight or tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. I'm in. I love Tim Dillon. He's my favorite single podcaster where it just is one man and one voice himself. He is it, dude. I enjoy his whole shit. Fuck, that's rad. 49ers against the Seahawks is the next game. This is another very good game, the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is a runner-up game. This is another runner-up game, but not for the NFC. I think these are
oh, man.
This is the runner-up for the Super Bowl because we'll see how Green Bay does. Green Bay is a lot like the fucking Braves, man. They choke in the playoffs a lot. I think the 49ers with that defense, if everybody comes back, probably in the playoffs, because it's a different style of game, has a better chance than Green Bay does. Seahawks will probably beat them, but
I think it'll be Seahawks Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl. But they got to win this game and try to get this. God damn it! Every Seattle spread is the same. It's -3.
Yeah.
Every
Let me see what they are against
Seattle
the spread.
Yeah. What are they against the spread? That's a great one.
They're 4-2 this year.
Dude, my phone is lighting up. Everybody, Alex Jones is on Rogan. Holy shit! He was literally just here yesterday.
Last year, Seattle against
Tim
the
Dillon
spread.
just posted on Instagram, breaking the fucking internet. Oh my god, dude! I think wasn't Tim Dillon with didn't he understudy for fucking Alex Jones all those years?
Yeah, he worked at InfoWars back in the day.
Yeah. Their style and their cadence is very similar. Look at this. I'm looking at it now. Everybody's blasting me with these pictures, man. Look.
Yeah,
are we allowed to say that Alex is coming to do our fucking...
I didn't want to be the one to announce it, but if you were going to go ahead and let it out there...
Well,
then,
he was here in the studio
He was here in the
weekend.
studio on Sunday.
Yeah.
Have you guys released that show yet? Saturday night? Is
Yeah,
that Saturday
we
night?
put it on Drinkin Bros Facebook page and shit.
Put the audio up Saturday night.
Yeah, we are. We'll put it up to Saturday. Yeah.
So Alex Jones was just here Sunday.
It's a really good show. If you didn't get a chance to watch
it's great. He was just here Sunday. He's going to come to the election show. I think we can.
Yeah, he gave us the hard yes. He's going to come by after his show on election night.
Yeah,
might make an appearance.
And he'll pop in. So if you're there at the election show, it's free, by the way. Yes, come and if we can get Tim Dillon on tomorrow or tonight, that'd be outstanding. I'd lose my. Where are they going tonight? Text them and see where they're going to dinner
Rogan's
tonight.
Probably having something in his crib.
Yeah, I would.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing Rogan's doing a small show there for like 50, 100.
We're all on the top. Well, they take COVID pretty seriously over there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We
That's
do
my
not.
guess.
Man. All right. Back to we got to focus.
By the way,
here.
Seattle against the spread this year is doing okay. They're 4-2. Last year they were 8-9-1 against the spread, which is a typical year for them. It's been like that for the last several years.
All right. Ugh. I can't believe I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to buy a half a point and take Seattle.
No
Fuck
way.
you.
Nope.
Fuck you.
Ugh. And here's the let's just move past. I'm tired of talking about that. Let's talk about the shittiest game that should be a great game.
Correct.
Of the entire season.
Yep.
It's the Cowboys at the Eagles.
Sunday night.
They're competing for the number one spot. I mean, whoever wins this game will be number one in that division.
At 2-5, they'll be 2-4-1.
If the Cowboys win, which they probably won't, if they win, they'll be 3-5, and the Eagles will be 2-5-1.
Is Andy Dalton out for this game?
I think the Eagles would still be in the lead at that point, right?
Is Andy Dalton out for this game?
Yeah, he's out.
He got a concussion.
He might be dead. I don't know.
He got a concussion. We'll see.
Who's their
This
third
is
stringer?
Philadelphia minus 7.5.
Ben DiNucci from
Ben
James
DiNucci.
Madison.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the famous Ben DiNucci.
Isn't he from Texas?
James Madison.
Yeah.
Well,
Look, I wish it was Ashley Madison. I'm not betting this game. I'm not even going to watch this game, to be honest with you.
Now, do you think DiNucci's 3 career passing attempts help him or hurt him in this game? He's only thrown the ball 3 fucking times, man.
he's a national champion, I believe.
No, he's
at
not.
James Madison.
At James Madison.
Oh yeah, is that like Division 6? I don't know. I don't know what to say about this game. Let's turn this one over to Fake Dan because this is your shit ass team.
Yeah, no, I know he's going to take the Eagles. You're an Eagles fan.
Fly Eagles fly.
Yeah.
On the road to victory. Now, we all lose. We all lose.
America loses.
In this division, we all lose.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We should concede the playoff spot. Just give it to somebody that's worthy.
I agree. Get rid of this division altogether.
Yeah. Well, why would somebody from every division go to the playoffs? I like the NBA and NHL format.
Right.
Top 8 teams go, or however many you decide. Because this year was
the
different.
conference winners still go. So it's
yeah, the conference winners.
This
But
is their conference.
The division winners don't necessarily like in the NBA. If your division is that, it may not be possible with the amount of games they play against each other.
They do,
I don't know
yeah.
what this stuff is.
There's still a fucking like this is one of these teams is going to go, and that's it. I would, if this was at 6.5, I would consider the Eagles, I guess, but I just don't want to watch this game, so I'm not going to bet it at all.
Here's how it's going to go down, right? We're going to get down 2 touchdowns. Carson's going to storm us back. We might get like a 2-point conversion late to take the lead. And we'll squeak it out against Ben DiNucci led Dallas Cowboys team.
DiNucci. If you love pain, punishment, and you hate your body and your family, bet on this game. But I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want it on in my house. Last but not least, now this is something I'm going to gamble on, but I don't want to watch this game. It's the Buccaneers against the Giants. They're only 1 game back though for first place. Yeah, from the Cowboys and the Eagles, which is crazy to say, 1-6, but they are. This is Tampa Bay minus 10.5. This is a game I'm going to put in a 6-point teaser and get Tampa Bay. It's is it really? Of course it is. Everybody's betting on Tampa Bay. I'm gonna get this in a 6-point teaser and take this down to 5.5 and call it a day. But that's kind of it for me with this.
You know what? I'm going to take it because I don't think the Giants are going to be able to score. Tampa Bay, it really seems like Tampa Bay's got the best defense in the NFL right now. They are fucking putting a hurt on people, particularly when it comes to the run game. And that kind of, I don't know if they're going to be able to isolate Danny Dimes enough and keep him from running down the field like that, but their secondary is very good.
Danny Dimes will stop himself.
He might, he may trip over his own feet. I mean, the Giants don't have that great of a run game as it is, so they're going to have to fucking pass the whole game.
Yep.
Good fucking luck, dude. I mean, Danny Dimes is not the best quarterback in the NFL. He's not the best quarterback on his team, probably. Let's be real.
No.
And I don't think the Giants can score 10 points in this game.
I don't either.
So are the Bucs going to score fucking 25 points or so against the Giants and make this a pretty easy bet? I think so, yeah. I think they score 25 points. I doubt the Giants score 10, so I'm going to bet this game.
I tell you what, find me in Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, and I will more than likely throw some extra quiche on this game on Monday. We'll see how the weekend plays out for me, but I'll probably have a lot of pregame jitters for the election, because that'll be the night before, and I'm going to want to focus on something else and think about something else the night before. So I'm going to, yes, I will put some money on this game. Just find me in Drinkin Bros Sports on Monday. I'm definitely putting this in a 6-point teaser, though. I mean, tell you that.
The Giants they're 1-6, right? But they've played some good teams. They played the Steelers. The Bears are okay. The 49ers, not that great, at least back then, because that was right after their injuries. But the Rams are good. Cowboys and Washington suck. Eagles suck. But they've played some good teams. It's not like they've been terrible against bad teams, but they have been terrible, and they can't score, man. I mean, these losses, they've scored 16 points, 13 points, 9 points, 9 points. You think they're going to come out against Tampa Bay, who's been lighting people up on defense, and all of a sudden score? They're probably going to score about 9 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't think, I mean, for 11-point spread,
I do.
That's 20-9.
So the only other time I bet on Tampa Bay against a shitty team was the Bears, right? And they didn't cover. I don't know what happened. Brady, look, he'll be Biden or he'll be great. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. But I will, again, find me on Monday. I'll probably, depending upon how the weekend goes, throw some money on this and do definitely like all kinds of teasers and weird shits to take my mind off the election the following day. This is a new segment that we're going to be doing weekly now that he's 2 for 2. This is called Dirty Dan's Filthy Picks. I've got to hear your disgusting fucking picks. I'm sure there's one in college. You usually have one in college, and then you usually have
no, we got a double dipper.
Oh, you got a double dipper.
Yeah, in college.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Dirty Dan?
All right, hold your nose.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We got East Carolina plus 17.5 over Tulsa. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates. We came from Wilmington, obviously. There is so many East Carolina fans, and they fucking take that team so goddamn seriously, and they're awful every year. It is crazy. I don't even know where you found this game.
The home of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I don't know where you even found this game. So you're taking East Carolina plus, are they getting 17.5?
They are getting 17.5.
Okay, against Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Okay.
Who's looked pretty solid.
All right.
But
all right, so there you have it. You're double dipping this week?
Double dipping. Second part of the double dipper is the University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners.
UTSA. Yeah.
Plus 5.5 over FAU. And then
you have two teams that are 19 letters just combined.
I have half the alphabet.
Yeah, I don't even know what
picks.
city FAU is in. No
FAU is in Boca.
It's Florida Atlantic, right?
The mouth of the rats.
Yeah.
The mouth
That's where
of the
Lane
rats.
was.
Good.
Now I believe it's what's his name from? He got fired from Florida State. Why am I blanking on the name?
Good for him. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. No need to concern your little hearts and minds with that. All right. What's the spread on that game?
For FAU?
Plus 5.5.
5.5. We're taking UTSA plus the 5.5. I like dogs.
Yeah,
dogs.
No, I know.
Love that juice.
You love dogs more than Michael Vick, man. And I've never seen like it. You're 2 for 2 in college,
doesn't
so
really like dogs.
He does. He loves the dogs, but he just wants the best ones.
And then we got a lottery ticket, of course.
Obviously.
The golf pick.
Yes. So you do a golf pick every week. You're 0-2.
But I mean,
it's $10.
You hit like 1 or 2 a year.
And you're fucking
in the green.
Yeah, dude. You're going to Roost Chris. Who do you got?
We got Tyler McCumber at 50-1 to win the Bermuda Championship.
Is it in Bermuda?
It's in Bermuda. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Bermuda, yeah.
Oh.
They probably won't even get down there.
Tyler McCumber. I loved his early work and did.
Very
Dirty Dan's filthy picks of the week. We just ordered him a neon sign to go behind him, and he will have his own segment at the end of the show
For
here.
you dicks that were complaining about the background over there.
Yeah, look, it's a work in progress. So we're in new studios here in Austin, Texas. We will get everything right as rain. In the meantime, dude, don't bitch about the background. I've been fucking destroying it for you this year in gambling. I don't want to hear it.
Bitch about what to do with all that money.
I know, dude. I won 2 fucking parlays for you, 5+ teams. I don't know what else I can do for you. I've won 5 this year, for Christ's sakes.
He'll come fuck your wife too if there's time.
Yeah, I mean, if Jessie allows it, dude, I'll insert you or your wife.
There's a baseball game tonight too.
You don't say.
Yeah, Game 6 of the World Series.
To win it, right?
The Dodgers can win tonight. Yeah.
Will they win?
No.
No, really? You got the Rays.
The Dodgers are starting Gonsolin, who's got like a fucking.
He sucks.
Let me see what his ERA in the postseason is, but it's
not good, man. He didn't look good against the Braves.
No, his ERA in the postseason is bad.
Terrible.
It's not great. They're starting him, and he's not even. Is he even a fucking starter? Usually, I mean, he's like a spot starter in the regular season.
He'll only go like 2 or 3 innings tonight. That's
he's 9.39 ERA in the postseason.
Yeah, he's been shitty.
Blake Snell, on the other hand, has been pretty good.
Yep. And he's a real starting pitcher.
He is a real starting pitcher, I think. But even then, you might get the same amount of innings out of them if this is a Game 6, right? So it's a deciding game. If Snell's struggling in the second or third, they're going to pull him.
Yeah.
I mean, Tampa Bay's got a pretty good bullpen, so they'll pull him quick. So I don't know if that's that big of an outlier. I think Tampa Bay wins this game, though.
David Wagner says, "Be a man, Ross, and buy a $63,000 truck." What is a $63,000 truck?
I think he's referring to the Raptor.
Oh, I want the Raptor. Yeah. Look, I'd love to have a Raptor. I have a Silverado right now that I love. I don't really care because we lug production equipment around in it and all kinds of shit. So I don't really give a shit. But I love those Raptors. Man, I think they're the one that I want. I think is like 78. But it's like it's a pickup truck. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a hard time with that.
And it's so wide. It's deceptively wide.
I have a hard time with that when I know I could get that Tesla X and just have it drive me to work every day.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fucking be driving around for 20 minutes every time I go out somewhere looking for a place to park that giant goddamn thing.
Yeah. The Silverado's fine for now. We're looking at the Broncos next year and all that other shit. So not Denver, obviously the OJ ones. That's what we're looking at next year. And then hopefully that Tesla truck is out. That new fucking... I just saw the commercial for that Hummer all-electric car. Holy shit.
It doesn't look bad.
Dude, I looked it up online. They sold out online. It was $112,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, eesh. It's all-electric, and it looks dope as fuck, and it drives like the Tesla. So I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of cool options coming out. But Ross says, I can get you on the family plan through my job. Benjamin Love, DM me who's your fucking job, and let me know who that is. If it's Ford, we can talk. Because then I can get the Bronco and piggyback.
Yeah.
So, who is that? Benjamin Love, DM me. Go to my fucking Instagram. That'll be the easiest, at STJames. Dirty Dan, proud of you. 2 for 2. And your filthy picks, you disgusting bitch.
You are a piece of shit.
Giorgio, proud of you. You got Khabib in round 2. You won people a lot of money. Dan, you're a piece of shit.
I am, yeah.
But I will see you tomorrow.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully Tim Dillon will be on tomorrow. That'd be fucking great.
That would be great.
For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin Bros Sports Companion Show. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros, doubling your deposit. Good night, everyone.